This is as disappointing as you've heard. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews, everybody. It's your boy Sam, and as I just said, disappointing. That is the word of the day today, because this actually isn't a bad movie. It's just it could have and should have been so much better than it was. I spent a lot of time thinking about thinking about my thoughts, if that makes sense. Because I left the theater and I was just so unsatisfied, and I couldn't think about how to put that into words. But it dawned on me that all the issues I had with the movie just came back to the fact that it just wasn't really that impressive story wise. It is very impressive in the thing we all know it's impressive at. But let's start with the sours and then we'll end with the sweet. So Avatar Fire and Ash literally picks up right where Avatar Way of Water ended. So watch a recap on that if you don't remember it. You're gonna need it. Now, for like the first hour of this movie, you're kind of searching for the plot because stuff kind of is just there isn't like a goal or a mission or something that needs to be accomplished by kind of either side. Like the entire first hour of this movie, the Sullys get ambushed, and it's basically them just like kind of surviving this ambush, but you can tell this isn't like the main plot, so you're kind of wondering where this movie is going to go and when the fire and ash is actually going to play a role in this, right? Now, the title Fire and Ash, that comes from the newest tribe that we meet, just kind of how we met the water tribe in the last movie. There is a tribe that calls themselves the Ash people in this movie, and you've seen them in the trailers a lot, right? And that right there is the problem. No, it is the most disappointing thing in the movie for me. I'll come back to that in a second. Let's talk about the story for a second, though, because that is, I think that is, we all agree that's the weak link of these Avatar movies. The stories are just like not great. Jake Sully is just, he's not a good protagonist. I'm sorry. Like, I really just, I don't care about him as a character. He's not someone who inspires hope or makes me want to root for him. He's just someone who I'm literally watching him go through the motions. I am very much more interested in his children, but the issue is the children and Jake and the people, they seem to be going through the same beats they went through in the last movie. RDA bad, doing bad things to the environment and the sea life. The Sullys and the tribe want to stop them. Quaritch has this hard on for Jake for some reason, and Jake and him are fighting. How many times are we going to see these two fight, man? Like, come on. The next movie, they really need to do something different. I'm really over it. And I know some people say, the last movie played on a lot of the same beats as the first movie, where it's basically these people are damaging the environment of the Na'vi, and the Na'vi have to stop them. But at least in the last movie, we spent a lot of time learning the way of water. We got more building of this world, excuse me, or also called world building. And the lore was just expanded with the way they do things versus the way Natiri's people did things. So seeing the difference between the ways of those of the forest and the ways of those of the water, I thought that was really, really incredible. And in this movie, I was hoping we'd get more of that. We get more building with the Ash people. But we spend way more time with the water people than the actual Ash people, bro. Like, so again, it seems like just the way of water all over again. I mean, when I say the same beats, I mean the same beats, bro. Jake and his family arguing with the water tribe, trying to fit in, but also trying to impose their sense of urgency when it comes to the RDA. The RDA hunting these water-like creatures and just being cartoonishly evil while they're doing it. Those water creatures treating an outcast like an outcast, literally having the outcast come back and save the day again. The children defying their parents and helping that outcast water creature. I'm sorry, I forget I think they're called Tooks. I forget their actual names, but the children are helping these water creatures, help them come back and fight them, and it all comes to a giant battle on the sea with a climactic fight between Quaritch and Sully. Like, I mean, during the third act of the movie, I was just like this. I was literally like, yo, they're really playing in my face right now. I'm watching the same movie over again. And here's why that is so disappointing. This character, the one that you've seen in all the promotional materials, she is the leader of the Ash people. And when she shows up, she is incredible. Incredible. She's a great character, a great villain. So violent, so much more brutal than any of the Na'vi we've seen before. And her people have their own beliefs and tribal ways, and they sacrifice and live on a mountain, like literally like on a volcano. Like it's so cool to see. And when she comes and she commands the screen, you're like, oh man, I'm anxious to see more of her. And then she allies with Quaritch in what is one of the greatest scenes of this movie, both visually and narratively, when those two get on screen together and decide to have this alliance. Like, it's so cool. But literally, at that moment, when she decides to ally with Quaritch, she disappears. She becomes the sidekick. Like, she is no longer the main villain. Now it's back to Quaritch versus Sully and their little spat that's been going on for 3 movies now. And I was so mad at that because like the potential was there. It was so good watching this. And then she's relegated to, she barely speaks after that. I mean, everything that happens is he tells her what she needs to do. And then her and her people do it, in exchange for guns or whatever. So again, disappointment really is the word here. They messed this up, man. Like the fire and ash, that lore building could have been so great. But no, we spent a lot of time with the Sully's family drama, more time with the Way of Water. I mean, the Water Tribe, who we already got to know in 3 hours in that other movie. And, for a movie called Fire and Ash, there wasn't a lot of fire and ash. So, I mean, what's good, bro. This movie looks incredible. It just like every time I watch an Avatar movie, I'm blown away by how it looks. I can't believe it. I watched this in IMAX 3D, and I'm about to say this to you. I think you should actually go watch this in IMAX 3D. It's the only way to watch this movie. I mean, like, I thought I could touch the stuff. Like, it looked like I was on Pandora with these people, bro. There's a reason this movie costs $500 million, and you can see every cent on screen. It doesn't make sense. Like, when I'm on this channel and I say something like, I don't know how this was done, or I don't know how they do this, I'm usually talking, like, in hyperbole, like I'm exaggerating, right? Like, for example, when I said, I don't know how they made the second Spider-Verse movie, I understand the concepts behind it. I know how they made it. I'm just saying I don't understand how they made it in the time they were allotted. Like, because that's very impressive, right? But then there are actually a few movies where I can't compute in my mind how the movie was made behind the scenes. Like, this is one of them, along with Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, I don't understand how these movies were created. I'm literally with my friend, and at a certain point, I'm whispering over to him. I'm like, I don't know what's real and what's fake in this movie. Like, the mix of CG and practical effects is so seamless that it's like, bro, like at a certain point, you forget that, there aren't actually blue people that exist. There aren't these wondrous creatures that don't exist. Every single explosion, some of them I know had to be CGI, but I could not pick out any single one that was. Like, all the fire looked real. I have heard that some people have complained about the frame rate and because it's higher. And I did notice that because it does kind of look like a video game. But the thing is, the characters and the environments look so real that even though the scene kind of like it's as it's rolling, you're like, this seems kind of video gamey. You also see it, so you're like, I know this isn't a video game, if that makes sense. Like it looks like actual people are just moving this fast. So yeah, visuals top notch. I honestly think that is worth the price of admission. You're not going to see a movie that looks like this again. Honestly, this movie franchise, it actually has me contemplating buying a 3D TV. I always thought it was a gimmick and I would never use it, but after watching this, like if I can get a good one, I might actually invest in it just so I can watch the visuals on this. That's the highest compliment I can give this movie, man. So yes, I mean, it's probably what you expected, right? Visuals, excellent, top notch, top tier, can't be met, can't be measured. This is the standard of standards. But then the narrative falls flat. It's just like the other 2 movies. I guess just in this one, at least you thought you'd get more world building, and there wasn't a lot of world building. It literally just feels like Way of Water Part 2 rather than Fire and Ash. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think of this movie when you go see it. Appreciate you guys for listening to me rant. And until next time. Oh, I didn't even give this a rating. If I were to give this a rating, it'd be purely on the visuals. I'd probably go 3.25. Again, it's not bad. It's definitely a movie you can sit through. It's just you're gonna be there, especially if you're a fan of this franchise. You're probably gonna be like, huh, this seems way too familiar. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, I'm out.